And let's get this started. In the northwestern side, this time in the red, Lakota, the horseboy, easy himself here. And in the southeast, an even more prominent player, has been known to participate in the tournament scene for years and years beyond. Great player. And France, certainly not as if that he doesn't know how to play. So this matchup is dicey, to say the least. In my opinion, France is something that is always favoured in the economical side, but Lakota, again, if you compare it to Haudenosaunee versus France, has more tempo. If you put it right, that is. The question on this map, because something that not everybody might be aware of, is that this map sometimes spawns with parallel trade lines like this, but they can also be crisscrossed, which makes it a lot harder for trade routes enjoyers or civs that generally want to take the trade route to buff their own economy to actually take it, because the crisscross one always puts one of your trading posts pretty close to the enemy and makes it rather easy to deny access there and to go for full stagecoach play. This time, for both players, for both civs actually, a great thing to have. Stagecoach, just something tasty if you can take it for free. Yeah, and France starting... See, that's a standard France start. We got a TP, we probably got the first pass even. Yeah, I mean, CDBs are sent, so that was the first pass. Great for Minimoult here. On the other side, easy, starting with Lakota. Yeah, we see a TP, we see a market. We see him still gathering wood, actually. Hunting dogs being researched there. So we are going for the greediest of greedy builds. Going for TP, hunting dog, and trading post at the same time. So all those things together make for quite strong beginning of H2, but the age up time is often a bit endangered there. And that's the issue, because what France more or less wants is to get to H3, either get to H3 unscathed, or to completely kill Lakota in H2 dead for good, which is a bit hard to do sometimes. And the problem is, if Lakota gets enough damage done, especially with the X-Riders raiding in general, eco denial against France, and France is not in a great position, since Lakota is one of those civs that prefers the open fight, the 200 pop fight, the big ones, because all of the bonuses they can stack on the units and the high DPS value they get from the faster firing and attacking units they often have. So Lakota favored early H2 and in the later H3 stages, in my opinion at least. Please feel free to correct me if I'm just talking nonsense here. Mini going 13. Lakota surely did not. Mini must... No, 14. Did not feel right to go for 13 here, apparently. I think the treasure's just not that good enough. And on this map, the treasures also aren't that great sometimes. You don't have a lot of those big ones where you can just easily get a goon situation. Stereo, I see your point, but at the same time, X-Riders are something that excel at killing CDBs, and even if you have bow pike combination from Lakota, the pikes are quite excellent in melee. So some CDBs sometimes get stuck in there. I do think that against Lakota, your CDB defense is not as strong as against other civs, but again, just my opinion here. With that later statement, I do agree, certainly. Skirm Goon combo hard to fight for Lakota, absolutely, but Lakota in the later stages can overpop, they can get the attack dance and so on and so forth. When France gets to H3 and Lakota can't go to H3, that's most of the time when the game, yeah, is just dead in the water for the Lakota player. Because of bow rider rates. Low rider rates are not a thing anymore, in my humble opinion, because they do 50% less damage against villagers. Bow rider, I see what I mean, but that's, at least in 1v1, I don't see that anymore, because it's just not viable. You need 10 bow riders who need to shoot twice to actually kill a villager. They changed that big time, my friend. So Minimoult starting with 700 wood first, and something odd going on, because I see a war hut over here, and Minimoult sees a barrack over here. So he wanted to bow pike rush Lakota? Is that correct? That feels weird. Wait, does Mini sees the base of Easy here, of course, but does Easy. No, he doesn't. Wait. If that one. Okay, now he sees the base, so we need to see bows. That's the thing, because you won't start with crossbows against Lakota. You always start with pike if you do that. Yeah. So Stephen goes, Easy goes for Seaton bowman here, which is the correct choice, because even if we get we get 600 wood there and more pikemen. So we're going to see a second military building probably for the double Rex rush. Yeah, there we go. And that is just going to lose heart to the composition that is about to drop out of this thing. No, crap god, we're not going to allow that one. Especially not when a German-speaking person is casting, my friend. Thank you very much, Lionheart. So, the double Rex starting unit production, but this is a fight. This is going to be bad, especially if those two villas are lost here. And Minimoult knows he needs to fight this. Crossbow's coming out. And that's the Seaton's power. They even excel in melee against those heavy infantry types. And now, there's basically no pikes left, only crossbows and a lot of cav. I mean, those CDBs are... No. I just wanted to say they might escape, but actually, nicely done by Easy. Getting his boys on that CDB, making sure even that one doesn't escape. Putting some more damage on the Explorers, some more damage there, so the snare is taken care of. And I do think that villager is not going to see the light of day. I understand that it's a joke there, but you do need to understand that this is a bigger room than just your DM space, if that makes sense. That's a dangerous one. No, Minimoult takes the trade, quickly checking HP on the cav and actually taking one of those guys. And that is something that does hurt a lot. As we talked about earlier with Haudenosaunee, with Lakota as well, it's not easy to get extra cav in early on. Few more hits, but a double pike batch is a dangerous one against such a huge mass of Seaton bows. I don't know why he actually produced those, because I don't see them living through this. Although, never mind, the Seatons actually are faster. And not as fast as the pikemen here. Mini stuff was late, I don't know why. He missed a batch, in my opinion, early on. Which feels weird to say about Mini, but I think he certainly did. And now with the speed buff, the Seatons are actually able to do some damage here. Reinforcing crossbowmen here. Only a small batch that comes out over there. And finally, pike production by Easy. That's also important, because if we saw a cav switch from France, that could have been dangerous again. Yeah, 4.95 speed. That's the point. Now they're actually able to follow those pikemen. And this fight is going to be dicey, but should certainly go out well for Lakota, more or less. Pikes changing or charging here into the cav, or trying to get there. Extra are being kept alive. The pikes over here losing hard to the club warriors. And club warriors are a unit that counter pikes just because of their stat distribution. Yeah, and everything else that's on the field being picked up by the Seatons. The snare is there, the attack damage is there, and the siege is there as well. So even if those guys might still live, but that Rex is going to go down. Spanky, I see what you did there, and I like it. Easy, now going for 700 coin, actually, the greedy guy. Already laying down the trading post, but not... There's wood in base, my friend. It's 148, just barely enough for the stagecoach and all. Just saying. Could take that. Feel free to do so at some point. But yeah, that's just... Now we are at that... How to put it frankly? At that difficult time where Lakota has huge mass. Actually a viable mass as well, because those club warriors are multi-purpose infantry units. Not just the pike one, but they can actually fight other pikes, which makes them much more valuable here. But of course they are a bit more expensive at the same time. Garge asking, who's red? Ask Gigs. Easy is a German player, and main name Easy. That's Easy, always Easy. I think he played some other Smurfs as well, but I can't remember all the names. But yeah, he's a Garcia player. He is a German league player. General, I'd say, aggressive style. He's more of an aggressive player, and I think we can see that very well here. Yeah, it seems not too easy for Mini after all. I see what you did there as well. Maybe the up-and-coming. Certainly one of the most improved players in the German league division over the last year. No questions asked about that. And beautiful stuff coming in. Trade line upgraded for Easy, but I do think that he forgot about building the trade post because there was some French infantry there. Although, Ah, sneaky 3 Haas aggression or sneaky 3 Haas raid. We'll have to look at the will graph later on. And the question is now, do those Haas get away with their lives or not? Because this fight is something that they shouldn't... If you micro it well, then this works out in an even fight. Certainly one dead Cav unit for Lakota, but maybe even 2. If you really micro it really well in this situation. But that depends now. In the midst, there are a few more armies being pushed together, but the fight happens now. Oh, that's beautiful. The weak Huss being pulled back, the next weak Huss being pulled back. Damage focus on that one. So Mini is really hell-bent on taking as much value as he can away from Easy with this free Huss shipment. Which was, I don't want to say wasted, but caught in the line of fire, more or less. Oh, great stuff here. Infantry mass, meanwhile, being, growing and growing. At the same time, we do have a Coral back in base. A bit of coin production here, enabling him to go for Cav. And that is so important, because that is, for the defensive fight, Cav is the decisive factor, especially for Lakota here. Question is, though, now we're going for Huss Musk, it seems. No, just a little bit of Musk. No stable added so far. And, of course, muskets are great, but the big problem in the unit composition of Lakota... Oh! Yeah, that's the scout being found out. No more scouting for you, my friend. The big problem for France is that resources are running low. There's the last herd that's easily... Oh, well, it's accessible. That's the only thing that is. Nothing else can be reached for France. I don't think they can safely get over here, not in 100 years, with an army like that on the field. And now the question is, what does Minimoult do? Does he want to push? Does he know there's a huge-ass Lakota army over there? And going back to army composition, the big problem for France here is the Seaton Bowmen, because they have 30% ranged resist. They have a 2 times damage multiplier instead of just a 0.25 or something. Yeah. So their damage against heavy infantry is absolutely freaking insane. And DPS themselves, just the attack speed is insane. So overall, this unit just beats the entire composition here. And I think we are about to see that. Minimoult getting catched here. And I don't think he wants to stay there, but he certainly can't run anymore. There's Lakota Cav all over him. There's infantry shooting down every single Musketeer C, and the rest that stays here is just going to get slaughtered by clubs and Exel Reich. And that's pretty much GG in the first damn game for Easy. Jesus. Beautiful stuff, my boy. I'm proud. And I say that with 300 elo less than him, but... Jesus, I'm a bit speechless because I'm just happy how this went. Just enough Lakota already. That was beautiful stuff. Honestly, not gonna lie. Especially, I think the choice of strategy was a bit odd, maybe, for Minimoult, going for the double Rex bow pike rush against Lakota. And once Lakota found that, it was more or less over. Not over, Cecily. If there had been the right batches in the right moments, we might have seen a comeback here. But it put Minimoult in such a dire spot. And let's not forget, Easy is a very competent player in those fast-paced early decisions here. So really his play of game, his kind of game style. And that's his first win in his first tournament game at the same time. Just pointing it out. So I think, Gigs, you did well with the teaching. All right, before I get carried off here with fangirling too hard, I'll quickly put us in the pre-match screen again, and we will see what the next game has in store for us. But I hope you guys are enjoying this series already, because I certainly am. There we are now. Minimoult in the blue, for Lakota on the left side, and Easy again in the red, to keep us as little confused as possible. And I'm really interested in seeing how a guy like Minimoult plays this, because Lakota is always something where a lot of people have different approaches to it. A friend of mine, just the same as Easy, a friend of mine, Melanchola, also played a lot of Lakota, and especially the trade stagecoach variety, or the stagecoach strategy that has been prominent or very, very frequently played on the ladder in higher level elo, is something that Lakota excels at, because that combines economy with tempo in a way that is I think, almost unmatched by any other civ at the moment. But yeah, Lakota obviously already on the enemy side, because why would you take your own treasures if you can take your enemies first? Going for 80 coin, which is, ooh, interesting. Because what you often see, and what has been popularized by, for me at least, for example, Lucas L, is the start where you go for a TP, then the market, and then you buy your resources and get hunting dogs and the TP very early without losing too much. Oh yeah, that's the market up. Hunting dogs is through. TP is being built here, so we have all the things that you need for a great... That's a better gathering rate than Germany gets with their start. So one of the best that are available in the game. I think only the African civs have access to something similar. What matchup did Easy win? Lakota French as Lakota. There we go. 85 wood. I mean, 100 wood for Easy on the other side. And speaking about Easy, going for one of the most standard choices for Lakota, for Haudenosaunee here, for the dock start. One of, if not the strongest starting position, strategy, decision that the Civ can have. Because just as Lakota, Haudenosaunee often a bit eco-deprived, and if you give a Civ with that unit roster decent economy, they really thrive. Because the fights themselves are often not what they have to worry about, only if they're being heavily outmassed due to them being economically behind. I date my double cousin. Brave to admit that of Minimoult, but I mean, honesty is always appreciated, right? On the other side, Rauch, which literally translates to smoke. So we have to take a few points away from Easy for simplicity there and for lack of creativity, I guess. But the water alone, I mean, more than 3 fishing boats is... Oh, yeah, because you found that 100 wood treasure early, you can do that. But, yeah, you could eat the sheep and all that for Idler's Age Up. But that's already... That puts Haudenosaunee at a very strong economic position here. Minimoult already aging up, though, with a 14 village up, which is normal if you go for a market. Starting with the TP instead of the other way around. And instead of that more macro-intensive starting position where you usually don't age before 3 minutes and 10 seconds. What's the age up? The Chief. What a surprise. So we are probably... Yeah, there we go. Already a Warhawk is going forward. Easy Eero map, to be honest. Yeah, but... Chief is 400 wood, exactly. You have to think about one thing. Lakota, the one thing Lakota excels at the moment is this early stagecoach play where they go for the TP in transition. They get another one, 700 wood first. They get another TP, get stagecoach going, and from behind that they can just spam unit shipments and go for Warhut and all these things. What about Malta? Also banned. It is a legacy tournament. All the E-Civs, yeah, there we go. All the E-Civs are banned. Yeah, that TP, that altogether, that other one is great, actually. In my opinion, at least, because they can gather more easily at one point. And it also, if there is a fight happening, it might provide some HP boost here in the defensive position. So Otto is banned. I see what you did there, vividly. You could say Spain should be banned then too, right? Because it's not much of the Civ it was in Legacy. Easy, going for a slower start. Usually, in what I know about the Haudenosaunee meta, you do go for a TP in transition. But he decided to invest in 3 more fishing boats, which is fine. Puts him at the 21 villager mark against 14 villagers, which is a huge advantage here. But at the same time, we are going to see... Oh, we're going to see... Pretty early aggression, I'd say. 5 minutes, 700 wood as the first shipment, so no 4k after raid the base. But certainly an Explorer that is going to go down here. Are we going to see a crack shot to make sure the damage is done? Oh, is Mini... I think he's actually spreading them out already. Because in H2 you would see a split move. Oh, he actually does it by hand. I like that. So the shotgun damage that usually comes out of that Explorer is not as harsh on all the units. Just 1 damage there. That's a beautiful stuff. And now the first and probably the most dangerous shipment that is available to H2 Lakota is coming in, except for the two Tukalas in the right situation, probably. And here we see the first military units popping out for easy. Cav on the way. Again, the 4 Cav shipments for both civs are so... Oh, yeah. And now we see a fight that you don't want to take as hot and shoddy. Because even if they have a little bit more HP, I think Extra is just really shit on Haudenosaunee horsemen, on the Carnia horsemen. The Carnia Wests can't do nothing about this. The only good thing we have here is that there's supporting tomahawks in there, but with the reinforcing bows that are coming out to the left, this might still be a pretty dangerous fight. He needs to get those tomahawks in the fight, but nope, the Cav is already taking lots and lots of damage, a bit of idle running around. First Cav is down, second about to be down in second. I do think that most of the infantry for Lakota is going to go down as well, but without the Cav, those guys can just roam free, and there's almost nothing that Easy can do to deny this. And that's the issue here. And now we have 3 extras that are free to harass and annoy Easy as much as they want. Resources on the ground, so Easy wants to invest in either technologies, A-jobs, or unit buildings and something. But an economic shipment here. Whilst on the other side, we've got Minimoult going for the 2nd unit shipment in a row, and that's what I'm talking about. This build order that I know as the Shuffle build from the Horse Feeds Guide, if I remember correctly, and which has been played by Julian, Angus, Kevin, a lot of guys that generally play Lakota, focuses on getting the economic base down right and then just pumping out units as crazy. And yeah, the dock is now under some stress. I mean, there's no anti-water in this deck, so can't really be denied from Minimoult. Or Minimoult can't deny the water fully, but certainly can put the pressure on then and make sure that not too much of a water input is done here, not too much of a water eco is coming out. Oh, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it, guys. And I'm sorry if I'm not saying the specific name, but truth is, you are seeing the mark. I'm not seeing it, so I can't tell you. Who just followed? More army coming in, so I'm pretty sure that we are going to see something that resembles a breakthrough or just a fallout attack here. But it's a lot of muskets against a huge DPS here. Oh, but the shotgun shot comes out. Aena's being a great unit as they are. Oh, reinforcing cavalry. I did not see those coming, and I think Minimoult didn't either. That might be the cleanup that Lakota does not want to have here, even with that solid economic base with the TP line behind it. The Chief getting some great damage done, though, on the bows. But the Cav will clean this up completely. I mean, we lost the dock, but also the entire Lakota army is dead here. And some more reinforcing troops almost followed their fate. And now we see all the economic setups coming in. I mean, not even a 3rd unit shipment here, but Minimoult seems to feel confident enough, adding a stable as the 2nd military building, and with bow riders and Seton bows, that is just a combination that is in H2. Yeah, I would actually dare to say unbeatable for Haudenosaunee if numbers and pop and economic cost of army are the same. Because Aenas are great, but they are certainly worse than Setons until the infantry upgrades kick in. And the Cav is great, but bow riders just eat Cav for breakfast. So the usual composition just doesn't work that well for Lakota, for Haudenosaunee here. And the good old DE legacy discussion is being led in the chat. I see that, and the thing here with this is it's just a very classic, unsurprising meta build here. If you remember the ECL where we saw Scientist, for example, playing a mill, boom, rush, whatever the hell that was. I think that Legacy is just something more standard and more enjoyable for people who don't have the time to be on top of all the changes and all the DE features. Because that does take away sometimes from the enjoyment of these games, in my opinion, if you don't know what the hell is going on. But another cleanup, or it looks like it at least. I don't think this was a cost-efficient trade, but especially the War Hut, if that one goes down, that might be a huge thing. Because especially with those Tukala soldiers in the back, a pop like that could be super dangerous. But if the Seton bows come out... Nope. He actually denies it. Good for Easy, because that puts the military pressure, or the potential for military pressure from Minimoult's side a bit backwards, as the next military building is all the way in his base here. Well, I just don't know. That the issue is that Tomahawks are just, and I don't want to sound like a dick here, but they are just shit units overall. They do their job well, anti-cav wise and so on and so forth, and if you have a master then that's great, but their tech animation sucks, the damage sucks. The only thing that's great about them is the HP and the mass ability. If we compare Ecos 32, triple stagecoach at the same time, compared to 40. And the problem is 9 fishing boats, 31 villages, but the 5 villager shipment is already through, so... I mean, we rebuilt the dock, which is great, but I just... Look at that army already. I don't see how Haudenosaunee walks away from this alive. There is 2 Tukala in the front, and those guys alone need to be... They need to be taken care of. The chief here, more or less making sure not a single cavalry unit reaches the Bow Rider mass for a snare. And now the Tukala's just dancing around while the Bow Riders pick off the anti-cav. And, I mean, it's surely not a super great trade, but still... With the reinforcing and Aena's badge, there might be some damage done to the Bow Rider Masters, but at the same time, that Tukala soldier was along for far too long, in my opinion. And again, oh, he sees that. Yeah, Minimoult sees the hunting over here going on, but at the same time, while Lakota is being beaten back again, I do think that Lakota's economy must be through the roof by now, just because of the gather rates that we have on... Look at that resource! It was a good trade for Iro, in your opinion. I see that. But if you look at the economy, if you look at the score, I do think we are past that point where even a full wipe from... where full wipe for Minimoult could win easy the game here. That's the problem that I see for Haudenosaunee here. Because water economy is great there, but there's only 1 upgrade on those ships. Oh. A dock coming up though for Minimoult, probably being scouted by Easy. The question is, what can Easy do against that? Yeah, and you see the issue. The Bow Riders alone are more or less enough to just send this entire Husmusk army back into the base because of the insane DPS those guys have. And that's H3 for Lakota. And that's the point here, because we have the first Kanu actually coming out, so Mini trying to actively deny that. Oh, counter Kanu on the field. And the first shot has been taken, so this is an immediate win. Oh, never mind. Easy coming with the reinforcing Kanu as well, but it's not going to be great. And he is pushing the front base, but that's all Bow Riders in the front. Huge DPS, not enough Aenas to really drive back the force here, and the upgrade is coming through already. 5 Aenas there, 5 Elite Wakines to take care of the heavy infantry even faster, kiting back, fighting on the water at the same time. Score getting more and more favored for the Civ that actually underscores here. And that's the last of the infantry being cleaned up from Haudenosaunee off. And I think that Easy is going to call it at this point. Because if we look at the resources, even with all those villagers queued up, we are far from aging up. Water has been pushed back successfully, so at least that's something that Haudenosaunee has going for it. But we are more or less hard stuck in age too. And against Lakota, that's... Jesus Christ, that's a bad position to be in. Yeah, Cray is now coming in for Haudenosaunee. We actually already have that coming in for Minimoult. Quickly going to check the numbers here. Because surely we're going to see some friendly... No. Where are they? Come on. There we go. Yeah, we already get 5 of the CDBs. 4 Minimoult out there. And Easy on the other side. I think he only started producing those guys, so not too many on the field yet. And the mid... clearly taken by Lakota. Stagecoach can't be denied, can't be contested at any point here. And Easy's just lacking the unit quality and the unit type, especially, that he needs to fight this army here. Hey, did Angus won? Yeah, well, yes. To put it easy and quickly and all that, yes, he won. A 3-0 victory. Did Easy slow H2, H2? Yes, actually. Easy went for a bit of a late H-up, and he went with resources. I think I didn't show it, but I'm pretty sure went with the resources. And just look at that mask. That's the point where, yeah, Aena's, the range, the DPS. I mean, the cost and the DPS is still nice, but with that Skirm Goon mask, if you're getting out Skirm Gooned by Lakota as Hononoshoni, then you have done something terribly wrong. And there comes the GG. The brackets are not top secret. Yeah, thanks, Brooke, for pointing that out. Harrison, yeah. I see what... You have been following the events, it seems. Yeah, my humble opinion on this, because both players are far above my own skill level here, but my humble opinion is that you either have to put down a TP yourself, so you more or less not deny, but don't let Lakota get the full advantage here, or you have to commit on something a bit stronger in terms of your timing. The issue is, if you go for an FF against this build, you might just get flooded by clubs. You might just die to it, because this Lakota Stagecoach, in my opinion, is one of their strongest builds at the moment. Yeah, thanks, Gigs, for pointing that out. He didn't go that hard on water. Yeah, he was actually being pressured pretty hard at the start, or... No, that's not true. He pressured. He pressured at the start and split up his resources, which led to this more or less awkward situation of not being able to really push, where he always was lacking units, more or less, and at the same time, not really booming on water. I hope that sums it up for you guys. Guys. But yeah, nice second game, and I love that Lakota has a win rate of 100% in this match already. 194 people in chat, by the way. Glad to see all of you here. And welcome to the second series we are casting at this point. It's 18:45 for me, so 17:45 GMT time. In an hour and 20 minutes, we're going to see the next series, actually. But yeah, let's quickly hop into pre-med screen again and see what the third game has got going for us, shall we? Predictions pointless. Change my mind. No, they're not pointless. People always invest their points. By mass and many, trust me. I have lost 45,000 points because I said Angers was going to take, I think, the second game or so against Julian. My god, someone turned down the graphics. Sorry, I can't. I'm too technic noobish to actually do something about the graphics here. I'm really, really sorry. Pixel points in... Yeah, there we go. Prediction points to get more pixels. Yeah, there we go, you see. I would say time and pixel points well spent here. This matchup has also changed a little with the E, and probably has changed with the recent meta changes, but mostly I think due to additions like the Bosnia card, which gives Dutch a much harder calf timing in H3, at least to my experience. And India, I would argue, have a certain dynamic similar to Germany versus India, probably, where Dutch is just hoping to get to H3 unscathed, more or less, where they really excel, where they have the economic advantage. But long term, of course, I don't think there are a lot of civs that can really scale with India. Let's see how many cows each player gets, though. That's a good point to point out. We have already got 2 cows on the side of Easy here. But maybe Easy being a bit too... Oh! Treasure steal not happening. Path thing just slowing him down too much. And Easy needs to pull trick that Explorer out of there. Yeah. Because otherwise that one is not getting out of there alive. Close. Nope. The snare's on. And now the snaring game begins. He is certainly going to go over there and help his friend, but not, yeah, going for that treasure, taking away a potential faster age up for Dutch with a 30 coin treasure here. Painted Desert, the best map in AO3. Don't agree on that, but I do know that is meant as a joke as well. Merchants, by the way, that's also a legacy untypical change, if that makes any sense at all. But that more or less explains their faster coin gathering and the fact that they cost coin instead of food, of course. The question is, can Minimoult go through to H3 without losing too much? And oh my god, 4 cows of the 8 on the field. One is over here, so easy can't have more. Yeah, 2 cows. That's all. That's all that India gets this game so far. And 2 cows is not terrible, but not great either if you consider that that is... yeah, that's basically a bank, or the food half of a bank sitting there in cow's form. Hazza forgotten. Did it change anything about the outcome, Hazza? Just... yeah. We are already aging with the Agra Fort. Not too aggressive, though. The placement is even... I wouldn't even call it mid. But of course, both players are pretty close to each other because of the map. I mean, that's not even a screen length for me here. And I'm glad you are enjoying the map visuals, at least here. I do know that I myself do not enjoy playing on this map too much because I'm just always confronted with people who play it according to the map, and I'm just a player who plays it aggressively every single time. Oh yeah. We see a market from India, so we are probably not going to see the one of the classics that sometimes happens here, which is the 12 sepoy rush or 7 sepoys for sour for early aggression. The question is, what is Easy going to do then? What is he going to do to stop Dutch from just going absolutely crazy with banks and economic reduction and then going to third age where the Skirm Goon, early mass especially, is just almost unrivaled here? Yeah, the scouting is done, of course. The age up bonus of 400 wood, so quartermaster, no surprise over there. Shipment-wise, 1v1 versus Dutch, so at least it's a Civ-specific deck here. Minimoult on the other side, what do we have? The 6 Irish Brigadiers, which are great against a lot of Civs to just defend that early H2 pressure with a great timing that needs to pay off, though, because 500 coin for Dutch and a shipment is a pretty hefty investment here. So you are over there, yeah. The first herding is going on, so, or the first forward herding, should I say? At least this one's going in a bit better direction than the one Swisherguts did, where he more or less shot the herd towards his enemy. Well, stuff happens. Dutch going for a defensive bank after the 700 wood, so the bank wagon coming in, more of a safer option instead of the 600 wood following it up. So Dutch is probably counting on aggression from India going in there. I think it's just the foliage rather than better graphics in general. I can certainly switch it up after the next game and you guys be the judges of that, whatever you prefer, because in the end, it is mostly about getting you guys happy and entertaining everybody who's here properly. Fourth bank is up before the first aggression shows. That is pretty damn late. I don't want to scold my friends here, but 6 sepoys with 4 banks in place is, yeah, late. And yeah, they are mercs. They are mercs. I think they cost 200 coin each if you build them. And they are actually available in H2. There was a bit of talk when they were made available to Sweden as well, where people thought, yeah, that is just going to replace the Carolean. It certainly didn't. It certainly didn't. They do take 60 seconds as far as I know. And Minimoult going for few skirms, actually producing pikes here. I mean, of course he's being idle, but what? He does... yeah, he must think that there is something coming in the sense of sours or something. Oh yeah, see that? He cancelled and he is resending it, so just making sure he always has an 8 pikeman shipment in the queue in case any cav appears on the horizon. How is spending 700 plus 500 res on 900 res of units good in the first place? In this case, if you think about it, those guys are 9 of them, 1800 resources. Or is it 150 coin? I'm not too sure at this point anymore. You've confused me here. But the pikes look like they're actually about to come out. Yep. Mini going for the pikes, although there's no calf pressure so far. Easy on the other side. 25 villages. Do we have? Yeah, Ottoman Consulate. Consulate card being sent through as well. So certainly no aggression here. We did have the pikeman shipment, which is a bit of a waste, I feel like. Because Minimoult surely can easily age now, if the macro was more on point. It's more than 900 rest of resources. Yeah, more of 900 rest of units. Fully agree there. It just feels a bit weird, because the base is set up perfectly. You can defend this even if the 4 cav come in, even without the pikeman. The only question would be if Easy's going for a big cav musk timing here with the 3 Rummeliots and Sours probably. Yeah, okay, never mind, he's doing exactly that one. I mean, India has a decent eco build at the moment, probably. The techs are... Yeah, not all of them are through, but some are there, certainly. Yeah. We see 10% on almost everything, except for wood. But there, the natural gather bonus is there already. Sours spawned backwards, which hurt a bit. Might have been scouted even by Dutch here. But I do think that the fight is now going to happen just when Minimoult hits H3. And it surely is not the fight and Easy wants to take. Minutemen coming out. Mini wants to defend this here. The Rumeliot will go down for free, basically. The entire army being back here because the Sours slowed the entire process. And the timing is, I don't want to say missed, but it's not where it should be. Cav going in, but Cav might just get slaughtered in the front lines. Especially if Wills are being focused here instead of the damn heavy infantry. And that's... I mean, of course, a few of the pikes die, but that skirm militiaman combination is easily enough to take care of all of these pikemen. And now it's just running and gunning. You just kite that shit until nothing is left of that sour mass, sepoy mass. And the score lead should already speak for itself. That is not the timing that Easy was looking for, and that is exactly the timing that Minimoult was looking for. And now... the better version of the pikes, the veteran Reuters coming through as additional anti-cav. More skirms being produced. H3 easily achieved. Economy beyond measurable, basically, from Dutch here. And India, yeah, aging up now. After losing the entire army without doing too much damage. Difficult spot. Difficult spot here. Yeah, just so many useless sepoy. Just so many wasted sepoy, especially. If you know that you won't hit the timing, you might be better off just saving them and upgrading them in H3. Then you at least have some sort of army there. But the question is, how does Easy progress from here? We do have some Azabs there. They could actually prove vital here and could take out some veteran Reuters pretty easily with their multipliers. Have to shoot though. Well, at least one. Some damage done. But the Skirmagoon of Dutch is just pushing forward, and the age up from India is, of course, super slow here. I mean, how many do we have building it? 8, okay. So it's as fast as it can get, but it might still not be fast enough. Good trades here, though. Slowly dwindling down the anti-cav numbers, and the Charmander Gate gives you a Mahout at the age up, and that one might be able to provide the cav HP, the snare, that is needed in this situation. But I don't think we see any other army units here, any other units at all, to be fair. And now we are already ahead 50% score, 7k score lead for Dutch here. Skirmgoon on the way. I mean, Minimoult leaning back now, probably waiting for the H up. Yeah, I think that's what this is. Just waiting to make sure that you're not getting caught under the Mahout with your skirms, which even with this lead can be pretty hurtful, pretty devastating to the army numbers, because you need the skirms. But picking off a Vil, the Goon trying to get picked off itself, some villas evacuating so you don't have all your economy idle in the TC. More villas being shot down by trying to build something here. And the otherwise famous and feared sentry pop, which makes almost all fights on the TC for India, China and all those civs super hard to fight, dies off before any support comes through. Mahut dies off as well, so we just have a huge number of Reuters, of skirms fighting the last surviving parts of the India army here. And even if there are some Gurkhas in the back, those guys don't really do too much good if they're just over there taking shots. And if we see any Cav, well, at least no melee Cav so far, but still, it's no question who won that fight. Losing another villager and now being found out over here without an option to defend. That's GG from easy. Alright. I have to quickly oil my voice, I'm sorry. But I do think that, yeah, the most important aspect of that game was just the missed timing by India. Deciding to go for some half-half build with some aggression and some economic growth. Not focusing really on either of any. Yeah, it just didn't work out for India here. And then the follow-up also, you can play better defensively, but of course that was a hard position to come back from. All right. With that, back into the pre-match screen one last time before we hop into the next game. And on we go with this series, Minimoult versus Easy in a group stage of the ESOC Winter Championship. Understood, Hazard, there we go. And yeah, that is, if that is not legacy, then I don't know what is, right? France versus Spain. A map that, a matchup that can't be much more classic. I think the only one that's probably more classic than that is a Brit Mirror or France Brits or something like that. Both players immediately going for TP. Minimoult probably going for the smarter one, depending if the timing fits. Which might be a super smart choice by Mini, because that affords the first shipment so much earlier than he would usually get it. And looking at this time, I'm pretty sure he is actually going to get the first pass. Nicely done here. And France just taking the safer approach, but of course also the later XP influx. Hazard, if you're asking, I think... Oh, yeah, well, Harrison, you can of course tell him yourself here. 12-10. No, it's not going to be one of those. We are seeing some wood being gathered, so probably 15 or 16 village up as far as possible. This one, yeah, pretty much. I'm also not too happy with that one, but I'm not too sure if Easy was too sure if he was going to get to game 4. And now that I think about it, yeah, I do think that I agree with Hazard, because you could have taken the first one and would have gotten the first pass pretty surely. That one might have been the worst one, though. So second worst one. Because I think if you take that one, you miss the first pass, but don't get the second one. But let's just not make it into something scientific here. Oh, that's already not a good thing. Easy scout being caught out here, and if we know something, then this is an embrace that he is unlikely to escape from. Spanish explorer accompanied by the dog. Yeah, Easy is a bit disappointed in the lack of humanity there for this poor fella being cut down by the dog and the explorer. Easy aging up, close, yeah, 13 will age up. My magic mark there is mostly the 240, but can he get it? Ah, close enough. We'll say there was a decent enough one, but he needed one more treasure, in my opinion, to really get the 13, the proper 1320 will age up. Minimoult on the other side, going for 3 vills into capitalism. And I don't know if Hazard and Julian actually figured out the question if Spain can properly hold the H2 timing from Ottoman with the stagecoach behind. Well, it's surely going to be interesting to see if we are going to see a forward tower here or not. But I don't think so against France, because France has just very easy answers to it if it's scouted. Corks, they don't save that much. I think it's more like 15% building time for the TPs, but could be wrong there. Maybe I'm confusing it with the healing increase, the healing buff for the German Explorer as well. I know that I once knew it and did a video on it, but a long time ago. Those two just passing by saying hello. Easy having to do the scouting with his actual scout for once, because, well, the net one didn't make it through age 1. Seeing a market go up, so a bit of an eco approach apparently from Spain on this side. What's his own perspective? Hunting dogs is cute. Now the enemy has a scout who is just annoying the hell out of those French CDBs. They are on coin. Upgrade seems to have gone through as well. And that's the point here. Second TP actually going through for Spain. Interested to see, because we don't have any ATP action here, and also I think with a trade line with only 4 TPs, it might not even be worth it here. But that's 2 TPs already for Spain. If we see a stagecoach... Ooh. The question is Minimoult going to go for an H2 timing or for an H2 economic play? With the governor, tower stays in base or forward? Show us, boy. Certainly forward. Probably going forward to this TP, holding the position and having another building for line of sight and general pathing things. I thought everyone could get the pass on TP3 here. Apparently not everybody feels the same way as you do, Vividly. I don't know if the perspective has changed or if the map has changed or anything, but it looks like they were pretty certain they were not able to get it in time. Yeah, and France doing normal France things, starting with Rex here. 700 coin first from Spain, so Spain without a military building, surely looking to age up. Easy on the other side, going for a semi with wood, not the one where you just build 10 musketeers, so bit of a close one for him. Isn't there a chance of Cree natives on this map? I don't think there's ever Cree on this map. I only know Apache, Comanche. The new version of what once was Inca, Quechua, if I'm not mistaken. And Zapotecs or something. But yeah, it has certainly changed up a bit just due to that. But I don't think the map layout itself changed. Musketeers coming out. Second batch, not fully. Not a full one, because the house was just a teeny tiny bit late. The question is, are the muskets enough to deal with this tower? We are aging up with Spain with the scouts, so four Hus are coming out of that one. 5 Vils being sent in transition. That's probably why we have the double trading post, so there is a shipment ready when you age up. Comanche, help me with that one. Please do help me with that one, because that is... I'm just too hooked on Karl May books to pronounce that one properly in English. Crabgod, maybe you are confusing it with Dakota, which is a bit similar, right? But greener, of course. I think the main issue here is the coin mostly, because you don't have a second mine safe in base. But they are sprayed all over the place, mostly on the sides, and they're easy to contest. So that is one of those maps where you often see people run out of coin and switch back to crossbows instead of skirms at some point. Age up is pretty far along. That trading post is going to go down though, and Easy did not contest that tower here. Did he scout it though? He certainly did, but just didn't feel safe attacking it apparently. Aging now himself, while Minimoult is almost through, and has a shipment in bank, so that one already paid off more or less. Yeah, but I mean, that Dakota also has a 4 TP stagecoach, or 4 TP line. That is the basics there. Some H2 or some transition rods apparently to just bolster the numbers here and bolster the heavy infantry numbers for Spain to have something on the field. Probably get a good catch on the musketeers if an engagement ever happens. Cav spawns forward. Is gonna, I don't know, is gonna be intercepted or intercept the musketeers maybe, or is just gonna walk straight into that poor CDB. Even with the great coat on it, that's very low chances of survivability here. For the Spanish gold coming in first. I haven't seen that in a long time as well. I think I only saw Yeah. Usually, you often don't come to that point where that's possible. Few dead rods over here, so getting caught, actually saving the trading post, which is great for easy. But at the same time, as I said, that one, I don't see. Oh, pull trick. There we go. Come on. This time I'm not biased for easy as a player. I'm more biased for Civ France here and then CDB situation. But yeah, those goons coming in clutch, just killing one skirm here and the entire cav being killed off here. Some great trade there. But at the same time, a back and forth in the middle of the map. So hard to really determine who took a better entry into H3. We surely are going to see a switch to Skirm Goon with artillery behind, apparently. No skirms being built because not enough wood in the bank. That's a bit of a miss. Misfortune. Yeah, bit of misfortune here. And I just don't see how France, if they don't have a good timing here, wins this with the economic advantage of Spanish gold behind, if they don't do some great clever play here. But France also has taken a second TP. Still no stagecoach upgrade because both pair know they would just benefit the other player as well. And what is Spain going to do to just prevent France from rolling in with Skirm Goon? I mean, rods are an obvious choice here because if they catch anything, that pretty much is dead if the numbers are still working, especially in combination with Lancers. We have a church even to balance out the loss of the early trading post. Skirm numbers looking quite healthy though for Spain in this situation. Mini coming through with the vet rods, artillery behind that, and that's always such a difficult position to judge in my opinion, because when you have falconets on the field, you push a position that can receive shipments, and then you fight there. I often see the one that ships the Falks forward winning this fight, as weird as it sounds, because you can just better anticipate when and where your Falcons are going to pop and how you can make the most of it. Some goons going off to the right side, probably trying to deter their... I date my double cousin. I mean, at least Minimoult is consistent. He keeps it in the family. And that last shot. Never mind. Saved by probably the brothers of his double cousin or something. And now double Rex production. So we are apparently seeing full infantry mass by Minimoult against easy Skirm Goon composition, which especially, yeah, the Cuirassier switch is probably the wrong choice here. Well, I don't think that easy expects that many rots in the next fight. Question is, I mean, the rots do have 40% melee resist, so they might be, if the numbers are not great enough, and if the artillery volleys are not great enough, that might just be Easy's demise here. Quickly check what they see. Yeah, first shot is being taken. Mini sees it as well, pulls back, pulls forth, readies his falconets. Imagine if those guys would have stood there instead of the infantry. That would have been one juicy start to the fight. Falconet fight happening, and the Falk War is going everything but well for France here. I mean, one Falk is going down, but that really tiny mass of cav is surely not going to be enough to fight this. One Falk alive for Minimoult here, for Spain. Spain pushing further. The problem is that the army of Easy, if getting caught out by the rots, is just a walking target for the artillery, is a walking target for the veteran skirms, who would by far outnumber the French army at this point. And the muskets, I mean, they are just here to stand in front of the skirms once the rods dive in, obviously. But still, so many muskets and so little skirms. And Easy still getting shot at all the time. I mean, even if it hits the veteran cures, it's difficult to fight this. And the mass is getting better and bigger, but can you fight this in the position that you are in here? Running around the rods, not great, taking a lot of hits there. Infantry same, but from the artillery and the skirms, so extremely difficult fight to do this here. Cav getting slaughtered on the left flank. Infantry now being attacked by the fearsome Spanish war dogs. The goons basically out of commission already. And now it's the cuirassiers, the mighty French knights, being pushed back here by some dudes with swords and shields. Not very honorable here, but very effective for Spain. And even though they're doing their best to stay alive and kill all the rods, there's just too many of them. Armor too good, damage too good, and mass for sure too good here for France to keep up with in this situation. GG, well played. Rods need a nerf. Well, I think the big problem with rods is just that, especially in combination with lances, they at some point create an army that you don't need to openly fight anymore, because if you do, you just die with almost any army. But especially here, that huge... The XP, of course, helped a lot from the second TP, but also the church, and then later on the Spanish gold. I think the influx in economy here, the influx in gold especially, just enabled Minimoult to pump out much more units in this situation. And of course, I mean, he lost the goddamn Falco. What are you going to expect there? I hope you enjoyed the series so far. We actually passed the 200 people line, so I'm pretty glad to have entertained all of you so far. We are probably... Yeah, now it's 1921 for me, so it's 1821. We are going to take what I do think is best, probably a short break. That makes any sense, so I can refresh my voice, get something to drink, and then we'll see each other again at 1921. 1921, that's right now, I'm sorry. At 19 GMT, so in 39 minutes. Rods just zone everything when 5 Lancers just wreck the skirmers. Yeah, that's the point here. The Rods are more or less force engagements that you usually don't have in a skirm goon fight. And the Lancers are just the perfect unit to exploit that change of battlefield tactics there. Guess that's how I would put it. I put 11,000 on Mini and got 11,000 return. Talking about really bad odds. I'm sorry, Spanky, you didn't get your money's worth there, quite literally, for those points. I hope you guys overall still enjoyed this series. I hope you enjoyed my casting here. And to wrap it up, hop into the overlay screen one last time for at least this streaming section. And we are going to be back with more right after the commercial break, I guess. But Minimoult taking it solidly with a 3-1 victory. Still, I'm pretty impressed with my friend Easy's first game, and I'm happy to have casted this one. Looking forward to the next series we're going to see from both players, actually. And the next weeks are going to see some pretty damn fantastic matchups, trust me.